What is happening, people? What is going on? Welcome back to Five Rounds, the most controversial YouTube channel. Yeah, the most controversial and opinionated YouTube channel, bringing you another topic this week. So today we have obviously myself, One Tally. We've got OV2 Nice. We've got Freddie. And we've got Patrick. How are you guys doing?
Oh,
what
good,
up,
man.
what up?
Well,
a long week, tell you that.
Yeah, man. It's been a long week. I hope you guys have had a good week. And I'm talking to the people here. Towards the team. So basically today we're going to talk about how smartphones and social media are destroying society. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into certain sections, right? So first, we're going to define what a smartphone and what social media are. And then we're going to get into how it's impacted society. We're going to talk about what tech and social media companies are doing about the impact that social media has caused. We're going to also talk about what the future is going to look like if we keep going on this path. And at the end, we're also going to propose some solutions. So to start with, for the people that live in the cave, we're going to define what a smartphone is, right? So a smartphone is basically a mobile phone that is capable of accessing the internet and downloading apps, pretty much doing the functions that your computer can do, but at the grip of your hand, right? What's social media? So social media by Google, says it's a website. It's a website and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So these two things sound like the most interactive devices ever, but yet society is being affected. What we're going to do is we're going to sort of break it down. We're going to have probably the pros side. We're going to have the cons side. So you're going to see a lot of bouncing in debates and people's opinions. All right. To start with, I'm going to start with what will probably be known as the red corner, and that is Patrick. So Patrick, how have social media and smartphones impacted society? Let's go.
Okay, I'm just going to start off with an example, and the example obviously is for me to show people what I have noticed as a human being myself, and I'm pretty sure I'm also in that circle. I'm guilty. If you, let's say, get into a bus and you just walk into a bus, a train, or any sort of transport, you always find there's a lot of people who don't even recognize you. They are busy on the phones, glued to the phones. They don't even understand what's going on. You can literally fart in the bus, and none of them would recognize that you're in there. People have their headphones on. They don't care. They don't care what's going around. I've actually seen a few times, including myself, where people have missed the bus stop just because they were concentrated, so tuned in whatever they're doing. Obviously, it's social media on the phone or whatever they're doing, if it's texting. So look, I think it's making us become a very dumber generation. I know that might be a bit extreme to say. I've noticed like we there seems to be a certain type of people, even myself sometimes, we don't really want to think anymore. We want to depend on our smartphone. We want to depend on our social media. But let me just go deeper into the smartphones. Smartphones these days are being given to kids, which I believe is also a way for parents to say, you know what, I want to do something else, and I want my kid to be to concentrate on something else and not to disturb me. But look at what's happening. Most of the kids, I saw a kid twerking on Twitter the other day, and people were in New York. What do you call that? Times Square, clapping hands for her. This kid was 6 years old, and people had their phones, and she also had she had a phone in front of her, of being taught on how to do the twerking. So look, this is going bad. We're giving it to kids, and our kids are ending up being influenced by these bad things. Let's even talk about the people who go in the street and pay somebody, give somebody money who's begging, and yet what we do, we video it because we want to put it on Instagram. We want to put it somewhere else so people can see us. So you see, social media is actually killing people, and it's becoming poisonous also, because that social media also is encouraging bullying, like on Twitter. It's encouraging people have ended up committing suicide because of that bullying. People get abused online just because of this access of social media. There used to be peaceful times in the world, and I believe smartphones and social media are actually ruining humans more than actually aiding us. That's all I can say just for this piece, but I have more to say. I just want some of the panel to also say something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, before we jump on to the next person, we've got Major from Malawi saying let's go.
Truth Only Records.
Exactly. He says this is dope, guys. Keep it going. Truth Only. Thank you very much, Major. Thank you very much. Thank you for showing up as well.
Just to say more about Major, he's owner of Truth Only. Big up. He has some good brands coming out, good shirts, hoodies coming up as well. Check him out on his Insta page, Facebook. I think he has a YouTube as well. Just check him out if you want to. Give him a follow. Anyway, go on there.
Cool. So going back to that question, right, guys? So I think Patrick has covered quite a few points.
Pretty much said everything.
No, I don't think I said everything, but I want to give the spotlight to this too.
So kids twerking, people on the bus, and stuff like that. What do you guys think, man? What are your thoughts?
Ovidio, you want to go next, or should I go?
No, Bernie, bro.
All right. I agree with what Patrick has said. Social media, it depends where you're coming from as well. So it has its advantages and disadvantages, you know what I mean? As in, for us to be talking like this right now, doing a YouTube live, is because of social media itself. For where we can't do, especially in this pandemic, we couldn't come together and actually start doing a podcast. But look at us now. We're able to do this because of social media. So we can't blame it all on, okay, it's been bad for kids and everything, because everything that's bad is always being given by adults. No, we have the responsibility to look after these kids. A kid can be 3 years old and you're busy giving them a notepad. Why does a kid need a notepad for? You know what I mean? Back in
so that parents can have peace of mind.
Dude,
that's what it is.
When I was growing up, that's when I had my first phone, 3310, it wasn't even smart. When I was 16 or 15 years old, you know what I mean? Back in the day, there was no such thing. We were playing outside football. We'll make football from a ball from scratch. And start running around,
From condoms.
Bruh, I don't know what he's talking about. So it has played a good part and a bad part. The bad part, I think Patrick has said most of it, but in the good part, as in growing up, kids are getting more smarter, as in it has brought
too.
It has brought us to we have come up with like medicines and all this. We've come up with cures. We're talking about cures. We're talking about reaching people. For example, like who preachers are able to preach reach places where they can't go physically, and we're able to talk to our loved ones. For example, I'm here. My mother's in Malawi. I'm able to talk to her every day. You know what I mean? But I've been sitting for like 7 years, but I'm able to see her like on a phone. You know what I mean? So
7 years, damn.
That's a lovely. I'm still making a plan to actually visit. So it has all this, and a little bit on the disadvantage of it is because I think it's making people become more of a zombie, more antisocial. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people are making weird friends of internet as well. You know what I mean? Your kids have access to all this information and they don't know how to stop them. You know what I mean? Anybody there can pose as a little child talking to your kids. So it's that dangerous as well. As in, there's a lot of cases here in Ireland and everywhere, you know what I mean? Grown-up people posing as young people, talking to kids on Facebook to meet up and then getting abducted. So it's something that's crazy. There's something that, parents need to take the initiative to actually see exactly what their kids are doing. We have porn there. It's easy to go on to porn there. for kids. You know what I mean? They'll just tap there and then you just ask you, are you 18? And you just click OK. That's how easy it is. You know what I mean? A kid can just click I'm 18 while they're 7 years old.
How do you know? How do you know that you just click?
I'm speaking because I've seen it. I'm not speaking out of something. You know what I mean?
That's okay. I was just asking. It's okay.
I'm a dude.
Explain yourself.
I'm a dude as well. So I've been through these sites and everything. So I'm not gonna lie. We're all human.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much my take on it.
Okay. Before
we go on,
we're gonna read the comments. Give me 2 seconds. We're gonna read the comments. So Mose Karim says, "Burn the gadgets." Damn, he's straight on it. It just says, "Look, burn the gadgets." Big up, Mose. And then we got Vanessa. Vanessa going, "Hey guys, hey Vanessa, what's going on?" Then she says, "Look, I think the internet is like Pandora's box."
That's true. I agree on that.
That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know what you guys were doing. It's like, oh, Fred is the daddy figure. And obviously Vanessa says Fred is right. Okay, Ovi. Have you got anything else to add to what these guys are saying? You know, what Patrick and what Patrick and Fred are saying. Yeah.
What I gotta add, I think social media is I think it's more of a good thing that has ever happened now. It's revolution, guys. You don't expect us in this day and age, people to still be doing what we're doing back in the days. It's the change of life. We need to take it in and appreciate it. And that's how it's going to be. Because first of all, I think social media is doing more good to the world these days anyway, because there's so many platforms we're using in different ways. Now, if you say social media, I know you're only talking about, just say if you're thinking about only Facebook and things like that, yeah, you're saying it's turning people into zombies. Listen, I remember one of the days somebody put up a picture, guys. I'm not going to mention the name. He put up a picture of 1980 something, 1970 something, and there were people on the bus, or it was a train or whatever. But every person in the morning, they were going to work, and everybody had his newspaper in his hands and looking at the newspaper.
I think that was one tally.
Yeah. No, yeah, you know what I mean? They had newspapers in front of them.
Yeah, newspapers, and they were not talking. Yeah,
they were not talking. So what's the difference between
between then and now? Yeah,
the newspapers just changed. Now you go on Daily Mail, you can read your newspaper on your phone. You don't need to buy a newspaper.
But that's not the only thing you can do on the phone, is it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
But what I'm just saying,
there's a difference with the phone, though.
Yeah, but the difference, what I'm just saying is that if you talk about saying, oh, people are like zombies, like you said about the bus, well, what about that situation when the people are still on the bus, but they have the newspaper, they're reading what's on the news this morning. They ain't talking to no one.
But people were able to put down the newspaper and talk. You know, I mean, they were able to interact with another human.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but you can do that with your phone.
You can do that with your phone.
Have you gone to the park before? Have you gone to the park? Even the park, people go to the park and sit on the bench and they're on the phone. And this is true. You know the park by S03. We were there, right? Having a picnic, and some woman was so concentrated on her phone. There's a pond there. I don't know if you guys have been there. Our daughter went in the pond. We have to go tell her that your daughter is in the pond. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, people are so plugged in. Yeah, plugged in. And look about. I don't know if you guys saw this video. I'll share this video with you guys. There was a 7-year-old, 6-year-old, or 5, whatever ages, was twerking in New York. Place you say what Times Square, and they were clapping hands. They were putting it on. It's on TikTok everywhere.
Okay,
it's turning us into horrible people. Like, we're turning horrible. We're becoming dumber and worse.
Patrick, I noticed your agenda there. You had to say that twice, isn't it? Like,
no, I was disappointed, man. I was disappointed in the human race when I saw that.
Well, guys, listen. Okay, listen. Smartphones, social media. I think you can look at it one way and you can look at it another, right? Since we're just talking about the impact itself, and we've heard about girls twerking and stuff like that, let's not forget that, the evolution of smartphones is not just smartphones. You've seen a lot of things come into play. For example, people can now have handheld, blood pressure testing machines. You can have that at home. That came from the idea of making a phone smaller, stuff like that. I mean, we're talking about people using 5G to get operated on from home. These are things that are coming, and you're talking about, technologies, for example, phones that these days have hearing aids, stuff like that. I think it's not all bad. There are some good things that are technology. For example, 2 to 3 factor security. Now you can log into your bank account using your phone. You need your fingerprint.
But the other question is,
Yes.
the other question you should ask yourself: are we much more better off now than we were back then, like in the 1800s when there was no smartphones?
Yes.
In terms of, yeah, I think we are.
Let me say one example.
As people.
I think we are. We will get to that.
Let me tell you one example. One thing I can just say, guys. Think about a situation whereby somebody could be mad and something could be happening with them, but just because they have a smartphone, it can actually report straight away that someone is in danger.
Someone's in danger.
Okay.
And their lives have been saved. There are people who've been streaming and somebody came to attack them, and because they were streaming, they were able to find the person that attacked them.
Yeah. Can I also add this? You guys have talked about the good thing about a smartphone, but do you know what all these phones that we're using, all this device, all this demand that Apple is coming out every year or something new, they have a little chip. I don't know what it's called. It's only found in Africa. I don't know which country. I'll do a little bit of research. I'll put it back in the details. And this thing is what is starting wars. Americans or whatever. I don't know. You guys might think it's a conspiracy, but I was watching something and said this little piece of material that's actually in the phone.
Where did you watch it? On your phone?
Like I said, yes, on the phone. Somebody died.
It doesn't matter. He's trying to make a point. Let him make the point.
Whatever these things that we're talking about, for them to have this material is only found in Africa, and the way they get it is too when they start people start civil wars and stuff, and then they get raw materials and come out, and which Africans don't also benefit with that, and that's a topic for another day. What I'm saying, we there's a lot of positivity coming out of smartphones, where like this health devices, heart thing that's bringing up.
ECGs,
we should also look at the negativity. What's impacting it on the world itself? For us humans, yes, but what is it doing to the world?
But there's more positivity than negativity.
You can't say that. There's no stats.
There's no such thing.
There's no stats to back that. You can't say that.
Look at all these phones. These materials that they keep making phones as we speak. I think there's still phones being made right now, and all this. Where do they dump these things? Where are they dumping all this plastics and stuff? You know what I mean? Which is also causing what? It's also causing hazardous to the soil, whatever. And they're probably burning it in this carbon and going to the sky. There's so many things. It's destroying the ozone layer. So if you want to go into it too deep, that's what it is. Because we're only speaking about the surface right here. It checks your blood pressure and all this, but these are the things that, in order to have these good materials, as you say. And the more advanced we're getting, and the more worse it's also going. Look at all
more greedy we're also getting. We're getting more greedy.
The more greedy we're getting, and look at this pandemic thing. I'm pretty sure this virus was created in a lab somewhere with these so smart things we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
If people didn't have these things, there was no way all these things would have been created.
No, but
social media was used to spread fear about this virus. Yeah,
no, but social media is the one that gives us awareness.
Awareness to what?
Because of this smartphone.
I think. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Because of this smartphone, it's the same smartphone we are able to allocate to say this place someone has got COVID, because there's an app that they throw it in there. You know what I mean? And you can simply go there and
it's literally saved lives. Yeah.
It's saved lives.
Yeah,
but it also has taken lives, so it has done both.
Okay,
tell this guy
before
you can focus on the saving. It has taken life as well. So I'm for both. I'm in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. So
slowly, before you were that side, but now I think we have pulled you a little bit. Before we finish, you'll be on our side.
I'm just gonna read a few of the comments. So Vanessa says that's different, Oviedo, because after people finished reading the newspapers, they are able to interact with other people. I think you can do that with phones.
With the phone, you can do that with the phone.
We have Moses again here. So Moses is saying, right, for every good bit that the internet has to give, there's always some baddies out there to take advantage of. Self-discipline and awareness will go far in the near future. It's a good point. Kelvin says the problem is dumb people with smartphones, not the
that's true. and that's the other point as well. You know what I mean?
Of the day.
And that's the other point as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to write. because of smartphones. Have you ever seen someone text a person who speak of Oviedo here?
Don't be firing shots. You're firing shots.
God.
You want to be firing shots.
I knew that was good.
Oviedo is
fired.
used to hold on. Oviedo is used to texting in slang, in short.
Wow.
Every time when he texts, he always texting in short. He has reached a
Expose,
point
expose.
he can't text proper
Shots fired.
sentences without writing them in short. But I'm only saying this because
Shots fired, guys.
like what Kelvin said over here. Problem is dumb people with smartphones and not the smartphones. You know, as in
What
people
are
are
you
getting
trying to
dumber and dumber.
Why did you imply?
I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm trying to say it's making people issue. Writing illiteracy. Is that the word I'm trying to use?
Oh yeah, wait. I think I said that it's making us a dumber society. Like back in the days, right? Back in the days,
if you use your dictionary on your smartphone, you'd be able to pronounce that word.
Yeah, like I think what Fred said, I said it at the beginning, but I didn't go into it. I'm also giving an example of myself. When I went through the education system in Malawi, they concentrated on you doing your spellings, constructing your sentences very well, your commas, your full stops, everything was on point. And I can tell that, like, I can need to tell the difference between me now and that time, because even the whole timetable, this multiplied by this, I could kill everything. I could do math in my head. Now I'm so dependent on this technology. I felt sorry for myself one day when somebody came to the till and there was a calculator I had to do, and it took me so long. I was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. And I was sweating. I was like, that's just simple math. But that's what has happened, as Fred says. It's made you dumb. That's
made you dumb. Simple mathematics, the simple calculations. You go on the calculator on the phone just to solve it. No, I mean,
my friend,
because you're so dependent on it.
Work hard, work smart. Okay, why should you work hard when you can do it smart?
But that's what lazy people do. You know what I mean?
No. Honestly, we'll get to that. We'll get to that part where how do we solve this problem? Do you know what I mean? We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. I'm gonna go to the next section of this topic, right? Which is, what are the tech and the social media companies doing about this problem that we're perceiving, that social media is destroying society. Smartphones are destroying society. What are the tech companies doing? I'm first going to start with Ovi. Ovi, what do you think? What are they doing about it?
Yeah. What they're doing about it, they keep on flooding us with more good stuff. That's what I call it. That's what they're doing. They keep on flooding. God. They keep on flooding us with good stuff.
That's
guys,
true.
If you look back in the days, years ago, we only had Facebook. Right? We only had Facebook, and Facebook was so cool. If you're on Facebook, you're like, yeah, I got Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
then Instagram came in.
I'm just saying. Hold on a minute. The question is, right?
Yes.
The topic is social media and smartphones are destroying society, right?
Yes.
So can you admit that there is a bad to the good, right?
Okay, there is a bad to the good.
Yes. So what are the tech companies doing about the problem? You know what I mean? We know there's a lot of good. We know that. Yeah. But what are they doing about this problem that Patrick's talking about, the antisocial behavior, children twerking on TikTok or whatever it is?
They're doing fake all. They won't do nothing. They're doing nothing about it. They're happy how it's going. They're making money out of it.
Okay.
It's a business to them. The way I see it, they won't do nothing. They want they're not gonna say, oh, please stay away. Yeah, they will tell you say, when you stay on your phone for this type of hours, you have to leave it, or it's gonna give you eye problems and this. Come on. They don't mean that. They don't mean that.
Oh, so basically you're on our side now. You're coming towards this side.
No, not exactly. No, not exactly.
The question is, what are they doing?
What are they doing about it? We know that there are bad things. We know that.
Can I jump on this one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. These industries, they're not in a business of pushing people away. That's not how they do business. They're in a business of bringing people in. It's the same thing as a cigarette. Cigarettes. They'll put an issue cover there of messed up lungs, but then they'll put something there, smoke at your own risk, whatever. But they'll still put it out there, make it even cheaper for you to get it. For them, what they're doing, like social media, they'll put you in the settings there, even in a small print there, just to protect your children, whatever, and it's your own risk, whatever. But at the issue, they're in the business to bring people in. They're not gonna say like, okay, people are watching too many kids this year, let's ban this. They'll be like, okay, we're losing so many. All they'll have to do, they'll just put like, now when you're about to watch something, they put like a warning before you issue, but you can click start to continue watching. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing, and that's what they're doing on TikTok as well. There'll be like boobs there, but you just put something just to blur it out. But they'll give you, if you wanna see it, just click.
You go to another site.
Yeah, they're giving you those options to do it because they want to drag you in. So they are not going to push people away. They'll lose billions of money if you start doing it.
Do you know a smart thing that I actually I think it was on the radio. They were saying that some lady was talking about this social media thing, and she said, when she said that, it actually came to my mind. I was like, that makes sense. She said social media, let's say like platforms, Facebook and all of them, they're like gambling. Okay. Now I was like, why is she saying that like gambling? She's like, the way it's in your head, the reason why you keep on going back to them. Have you ever noticed when, let's say, you wake up in the morning and you have your phone, right? And it tells you swipe down to refresh. And they always put a circle, They put something that it's loading new stuff. She said it's like when you're playing on the casino machines, the rotation of waiting, that satisfaction of, let me see what's going to be new on this page. To me, I kind of took that in like it's true, because I feel like that, when you're refreshing something on your page and the excitement of like, let's see who has posted what, who has posted what. I don't know how would it come across to you guys.
I think that's a shit analogy.
But guys, I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't know if you are all aware of this. Also, this is, I think I heard, and I don't know if it's happened yet, but the British government wants to start, it's a law that social media companies will be fined up to 10% of their turnover if they don't stamp out abuse or racism or hate crimes on their own social networks. So, yes, we say companies are not doing anything, but it looks like governments are starting to take note about social media. And if this goes through, I don't know if it's gone through, if it goes through, things like this will help stamp out all those nasty things as I've been talking about that happen. I think when you heard that money, like the government is doing, I know the companies themselves, that's the question you asked. The companies themselves don't care, to be honest, especially Twitter. Twitter came up with a statement years ago saying, our network is based off free speech. So basically they're saying that, look, if somebody is called the N-word on Twitter, if somebody is called a monkey on Twitter, or if somebody is abused or bullied, we say it's free speech. So that's the other thing. It's free speech. So people are allowed to say that on Twitter. People are allowed to post porn on Twitter, and kids can see it. People are like every day when you go on football Twitter, there's these female accounts of these OnlyFans who go after kids who are 14 years old, and Twitter sees that. People report it, but nothing is ever done about it. So I think if they go after that money, that's the government's, maybe they will listen. But the companies themselves doing something, as Fred said, nada, they're not doing that. Twitter is not about to put verification so that people can be verified. They know they're going to lose a lot. That's what Twitter leaves off. Twitter is the place where you find trolls, you find these sick-minded people, you find people who hide behind faces. That's where the bullying happens. So I don't think Twitter will do that. But if the government takes 10% and maybe they decide to say, 10%, you're not still listening, they start increasing that percent. I tell you, within the next morning, you'll find Twitter sending you an email saying you have to verify yourself.
That wouldn't work, because, the government themselves are using these social medias to be profiling people, to find people, you know what I mean? They have an agreement, for example, Facebook or these big companies, if they want to find someone where they are, they'll use these social media platforms. They want to know who you are. If they want to know me, they'll find me where I am through these social media platforms. You know what I mean? How are they going to find you? These are they always have an agreement to share. I think those, I don't know if it's Facebook or something. There was this social media that was actually working with the CIA or something to be sharing information. You know what I mean? Haven't you sat down sometime, without even opening your phone like that? You're chatting about, oh, I want this and one shoes. And then after like a couple of minutes, you go on your phone, you have these adverts of and ones and everything. So everything that you're saying is also these things that are also listening in. And that's the other thing we should be more aware of. Everything that we speak about is being listening in. If you're going to start planning to be bombing a hospital, be careful, they're listening in. I'm not saying anybody is planning such things. So
No, you should
wherever there's something good happening, there's always something bad happening in the background. You know what I mean? So if you're putting your whole, I know I used to be one of those people on Facebook who put I'm from Lilongwe area, age, blah, 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 blah,
Where
blah.
you?
All my pictures, yes.
Your whole bio.
Oh, my whole bio is there. I like driving and going out. All these things. After I saw this one documentary, I deleted all those stuff. Like, there are creeps right there who can actually use your image to rob places as well. So, yeah, I'm gonna say there's more to say, but I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're in a right now. We're not in a like solid trade era. We're in an information era because information is key these days. Companies want your information, and where do they go? They go social media to get it. So yeah, just expanding on Fred's point there. I'm just going to read the comments real quick. So we've got Mr. Moses going, tech giants are doing their best, but there is so much that they can do. It will come up to the parents or guardians or the individuals themselves to look after themselves. Yeah, that is a good point, to be fair. So just to close this section, what are social media and tech companies doing? In terms of social media, I think they're not doing enough. You know, I think what Patrick said, allowing free speech is good. But I think the law even says you've got free speech, but make sure you're not offending the next person. You know, like free speech is free speech, but don't break the law, you know. Do it within these limits. So if Twitter can do that, that'll be great. But you know, so what he said, you know, you've got to work within the law, and it's good that the governments are getting involved. I think it's only recently that the governments have realized. I think because of COVID, the governments realized that these social media companies are getting bigger than they ever imagined, and they've got too much money and power that is worrying governments. You know, so whether that is for a good cause or a good thing, we'll wait and see. In terms of smartphones, right? For me, I believe that smartphones, there are so many features that people do not know about that could control you or even limit the things that you should be doing. So what are companies doing about it? For example, on the iPhone, I think even on an Android phone, you can control, if you buy your child a phone, you can control what they do, when they do it too. You can control whether they can make phone calls, whether they can use apps. You can set a time to say during this time they can use their apps, and during this time only phone calls. Do you know what I mean? You can do that. It's just a matter of knowing, you know. The other thing,
parental control thing.
The other thing that companies are doing, you know, they've got this thing called I think they use analytics. So they show you like how many hours you spend on YouTube, how many hours you spend on this, for you to know that okay, you're actually overusing these services, you know. So I think on the smartphone side, I think the smartphone companies are doing their bit, but the social media is where we're lacking, you know, in terms of the abuse and stuff like that. Before we move to the next topic, the next section of the topic, I'm just going to read one comment here from Kelvin. What's up, Kelvin? He says, look, man, smartphones put 100 in one DVDs in my hand. Ovi knows what I'm talking about. No way I hate them.
This guy, man,
trying to get people arrested for piracy.
Yeah, I know.
So the next question, right? The next question, we'll start with Fred. What does the future of social media and smartphones look like? You know, so from the con side, the side against, what does the future of social media and smartphones look like? And Ovi, you're going to be next.
Speaking on the con side, just today when I was working, I got a number, a very random number, just called me and answered. And this guy, he put in a voice as if they work at the PPS office. And then after that message,
sorry, Fred. Before you continue, define what a PPS office is.
It's a public service card. You know, it's where if you want to work, you have to have this card with you.
Public service number.
Public service card, yeah.
Like a social security.
You need the number, not the card.
Like a
Yeah.
social security. Okay,
So
cool.
when they called me, they said like you there's something suspicious about your numbers. I think it might lead for your bank to be cancelled or your banks to be closed and for it to shut down and everything. So if you want to speak to someone, press one. So I pressed one just to see where this goes because I already knew because I already got those word going at the scammers around. I pressed one, and then this Indian guy answers. That's when I know, like, oh, okay, it's a scammer. Oh, hello. Who am I talking to? I'm like, you're talking to Fred. Oh, Fred, there's some suspicious. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but this is just trying to
We're like,
impersonate,
what's up? Why are you doing the accent?
trying to impersonate the guy. Sorry, my friend. Your PPS number is something suspicious. And I was like, suspicious of what? What do you want? Oh, can I have your number just to see if that's the one? They wanted me to give them my PPS number. So I told them I don't have my PPS number with me. It's at home. Like, so you don't have it with you. You have to give me now. Like, so when he said now, I was like, why? What's with the urgency? You know what I mean? Obviously, I know something like that. They'll first send in a letter, and then to tell you to call them. You know what I mean? So he said now. I was like, no, I have it at home. Oh, can you call home just to get it? He's like, why do I need to call home? This guy's supposed to be professional. You know what I mean? I should call home to get my PPS and then give it to them. And then I told them like, no, I cut the phone. And this is where it's social media is leading. It's scamming people to their own to enter their bank accounts to get millions and millions of dollars. And we talk about kids who have access to this. You know, this Call of Duty gaming is where they're always selling things, and obviously kids is going through their parents' purses or issue to get the credit cards, spending lots of
That's
dollars.
very
Just
good
you know
point,
what I
yeah.
mean? Spending lots of dollars over a skin of a character.
Yeah, but
And then
we're asking, but the question is, what is the future? Because you've started
the future
digressing
is-
about something. What is
okay,
the
so what I'm
future?
expecting, the future is it's they're gonna be more scamming and they're gonna get better at it. Because
Okay.
if you look at this way, they're also analyzing how to scam people more. Right? The more people are getting smarter about what's happening now, they are getting smarter to scam people. At the same time that there's an advantage of it, there'll be more vaccines being produced and more ways to cure certain diseases and more ways. Now they can actually, when you don't have an arm, they can give you like a technical arm to be part of your limb and everything. So there's so many advantages and disadvantages to it.
Okay.
I think that's my take there.
Cool. So, before I get to Ovi, I'm just going to read this one comment. It says, "Look, Fred, you don't need to you don't need to do the Indian accent, man. Chill." That's mad, guy. Guys, before I forget, guys, make sure you subscribe, please, guys. You know what I mean? What we notice is the many people that watch are actually not subscribing. Guys, come on. You want us to bring you new content, you have to encourage us to bring the content to you. So please subscribe, hit the notification button so you know what the latest video is. We have a lot of things coming, a lot of guests coming on, a lot of content, a lot of things like this. All right. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, guys, and also smash a like if you're enjoying the content. And comment, give us your opinions as you have been. Thank you very much, guys. So Ovi, what does the future of social media look like? What do you think the future of social media is going to look like?
I think it looks very good because listen, hear me out, guys. It looks good because I think at some point, the way things are going, people will be able to sit at home and make money, work through social media, and make their earnings and look after themselves. We've seen it.
People are doing it now, though.
They're like, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But I'm
what
saying
is the future looking like?
Yeah, the future to me is going to be even wider. There's going to be more opportunities.
In what sense?
In what sense? There'll be more opportunities for people to sit at home and make money. Today, there's the likes of, example, OnlyFans. There'll be other better things that you don't need to show booty. You probably could be working from doing something and make a living.
Example.
Okay. Yeah.
For example.
I think you're not selling this future thing, bro. Come on.
Okay. For example, right now, as we can say, there are people sitting at home and they'll do ads, media ads, and they do it from home. They don't need to go in, work in an office. They can start their own company and to be online, and they run ads for people. That's the type of examples I'll be talking about. That's from social media, and they're making a living out of it. They're their own boss.
Okay.
So you can see if this is now, look at 10 years to come. What more is going to be there?
Okay. Look, guys in the comments, let us know what you think the future of social media is going to look like, you know. So Patrick, what do you think the future of social media is going to look like? Social media, smartphones and all that stuff. What do you think it's going to look like?
What are you asking in terms of what? As in general? Is that a general question? Or just...
So you're saying that right now, smartphones and social media are destroying society, right? So if we continue on this path, what's going to happen? You know, what is the next thing? What's it looking like? You know,
it's looking bad. We're going to burn. Things are not going to. Things are not. Let me explain. Things are not going to be great.
Oh, right.
I am looking at this from a lot of angles. I know there's a lot of advantages and advancements. This whole social media has helped many people become feed their families. They have helped people do better education. A lot of people, some people have been exposed to things that obviously have helped them. But those things that are exposed in certain areas are also destroying those areas. I think by the time social media and smartphones continue going to this path we're going to as human beings are going to be more dumber. We're going to be more dumb and much worse, and things are going to get worse. I think the generation up there is not going to be as smart as the generation 10 years ago, or even worse than the generation now. People might find it offensive, but I see majority of the generation today, I think things are bad. Sometimes when you see Twitter or when you see Instagram, you're like, are you serious? Like some of the TikTok videos people do, some of these small videos people do on TikTok, you're like, are you serious? Like, did you find it funny as a person, or do you think that's a smart thing to do? So I'm saying if it goes towards this path, because look, TikTok came out, it all started with Facebook. Facebook, after that, Twitter came in. After Twitter, these TikToks came in, Insta came in. It looks like more of these social media companies keep coming out, the more dumber people are. I think Twitter was the most dumbest thing that came out for the human race. I have seen the most dumb shit there. I've seen people do some dumb shit there, a lot of bad stuff. No offense to everybody, but I think after the next one, another one will come in, it'll be worse. So I think smartphones and Twitter are just going to make things worse and worse. And I feel bad for the future.
For a person who hates it.
Yeah, but how are they going to make things worse? Because you keep saying it's going to be bad, but how is it going to be bad? You know, how do you think it's going to be bad?
Give us 2 points.
What are we? Okay, so right now you're saying the children twerking on TikTok. You're saying that there's online abuse, people committing suicide. So how is it going to get worse? What's the next thing?
Look, I can give examples because of this advancement of social media where it's accessible to everybody. And I keep bringing back to Twitter because I'm a fan of Twitter. If right now people are bullying and they're not being stopped, and let's not kid each other, they will pretend to do these strikes where they're like, we strike against social media for it to be switched off. It's not going to happen. They'll continue. You guys just say they'll make more money. I think they'll make things more easier and they'll make things more advanced at a point where sometimes it will actually be is. Do you get what I mean? It'll be worse than what it is. So I think that's the part I'm talking about. This bullying will get worse. These harassments, these things will get worse. These smartphones will make things so easy for kids, even kids who are like even 1-year-old kid will be able to just put their finger maybe on the screen and open it up, and a kid will be able to operate a phone. Let me just tell you something. Right now, a 5-year-old can actually operate an iPad more than we can, and it can tell us few things we don't know on the iPad. Why? They're making it easier, and that's why social media is taking things.
But isn't that a good thing? Isn't that
it's making them worse because you give them
you give a kid a machine gun. What do you think is going to do? He's going to end up shooting himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
but you make the machine gun worse.
But this is
this is what happened to the phones. They are taking that machine gun. Do you know the safety thing? They're removing that safety thing now slowly. It's just gonna be just press you, it'll go. There's no safety anymore.
But you as your parent, as a parent, yeah, you've given the child the iPad. Yeah, they can operate the iPad because I mean, let's face it, we're in a technology world now. Do you know what I mean? Where if you're tech savvy, you could get a tech job. You get what I mean? But then you as a parent, are you allowing that kid to go too far? Do you know what I mean? Just because they can operate an iPad doesn't mean they can go on a porn website. You know what I mean? It's it's like anyway, we're gonna get to that part. But
can I just add in one more thing? In China, in China, I'll say social media is also affecting relationship. I was watching this documentary in China. Apparently, there's this little character, smart character they've created. I don't know what they call it. People ended up falling in love with that character.
But Fred, we're
going to dates with the character. You know what I mean?
We're talking about what this future of social media is going to be.
That's what the future is. The future people are going to start marrying their phone. People are doing that right now as we speak, and it's going to get worse.
Okay, so that's happening now,
and it's going to get worse.
Right?
Everything starts slowly. You know what I mean?
Nah, fair enough. Listen, I'm gonna give you the pros and cons of what I think the future is gonna look like for social media, right? It's easy to point out the bad, but let's point out the good a little bit here. On the environmental side, I think there's a push for phone, like you've seen Apple, how they've redacted the charging plug, you know what I mean? Even though I think it's still silly, but redacting that thing, not letting you have a charging plug is going to help the environment. Do you know what I mean? It's going to stop them from producing even more plastic and stuff like that, or having excess charges even, because where are you going to put them when you're done with them? You're going to throw them in the bin. That's plastic. That's stuff that's not biodegradable, just that part alone. What's the future of social media looking like at the minute? To be honest, I can't say a lot of good about social media, but I can tell you how the future moved on, because of the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, people are able to work from home. People are able to have these Zoom meetings or whatever it is. If we didn't have these things, you'd be sitting at home staring at the roof or looking out the window, maybe even risking COVID so you can see your friends, right? So in a sense, that's what I'm saying. But with the future of smartphones and social media on the con side, I think these companies are trying to collect as much information, more information even by the day. What does that mean? How do you know that your information is being cared about? We don't know how they're dealing with our information. Every day we hear about websites being hacked. So this is increasing fraud, so what's the future looking like? Fraudsters are going to get smarter. Fraudsters are going to hire tech people. They're already trying to control cryptocurrency. Do you know what I mean? Soon enough, you won't have to wake up and look at your phone. You probably have it in your sleep. You probably have a chip in your head still downloading information while you sleep.
Yeah, and also answer somebody while you sleep. Yeah, making it easy.
Exactly. So I think the future is a little bit worrying, but I think it needs to be policed. I'm optimistic, but also it needs to be policed. Now,
and it's the same thing of the hospital here in Ireland. What's it? Rotunda, who got hacked? Everybody's information is all on the dark web.
The whole HSCE in Ireland.
HSCE was hacked, and everybody's information who has been there is all on the issue.
Yeah, but listen, who cares? Like, imagine a guy going, "Hey, if you don't pay us $2 billion, we release your information of your scam."
But why take them in the first place? You know what I mean?
Like, they're asking for money over. Like, I don't care if they're gonna fucking put my.
You don't.
But
maybe
others
because
do.
maybe you're not that important, but other people are important, so they do care.
Why are you worried? Tell us. What are you afraid they'll show us?
You want what you want? Do you know? It's not about that they're gonna expose your personal. No, let me explain to you. It's not about them exposing your personal information. It's them using your personal information. You end up one day, maybe let's say you're traveling to Germany, and they're like, "Oh, you hacked a system in Africa or something. You robbed a bank because they can use your information. That's what people are scared of. They use your information."
That's not what they were asking money for. They were saying if they're not giving money, they'll be releasing people's medical information.
Yeah, because people can sue the hospital, because now you sue the hospital. The hospital can be sued. So maybe
Yeah,
they
but
what's
the thing is with that question you were saying, like, what makes you think they haven't released the information already? Or
They have
No,
already.
they
So
were
on the
releasing
dark web.
some. They started releasing some because they were demanding money from the government to say we need such amount or otherwise we'll be releasing information. They started releasing information.
I'm pretty sure they didn't release yours, because
They released information of mine. Yeah, I went for an operation. I broke my arm. So yeah, hello. What do you think I do? I care. You know what I mean?
But you're only talking about individual thing. What about everyone else? You know what I mean? It's not
yeah.
only about you.
Some people treasure their information, man. And by the way, this is what I want to tell you. You don't care because that's what you did, but some people had maybe a serious illness which they wouldn't like that to be public. It would destroy them mentally if they see that public. Everybody knew that. Some people are very private in this world, and it's something that can break families. Maybe somebody died and the family never said exactly why they died, and they want to keep that information, and now it comes out. So you also have to take it on that level. We know that you wouldn't care because you only broke your arm. I don't know what you were doing. You might have an idea what you were doing, but no, let's not expose it here. But other people might have information that's very sensitive, and they don't want it to come out. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
that's what I think is more scary about that.
Okay. We need to move this along, so we're going to get to the next section of the discussion. And quickly, what we're going to do is just state the points of what your proposed solutions are. What do you think should happen? Nice and quick. As people, what solutions? What do you propose to be a solution to this problem? When you think that social media and mobile phones and smartphones are destroying society, what are the solutions? What do you think should be done? So I'm going to start with Patrick. What do you think?
What should be done to social media and the phones?
Yeah, no. What should you do as a person? Because we've talked about how the tech companies are doing it. We've talked about how social media is doing it. We've pretty much even talked about how it should be done. What do you think should be the solution? How can you handle this? How can you deal with this problem? How can we solve this problem?
I think this issue is not going to be solved by individuals ourselves. I don't know. I've been trying to look for organizations that help with addiction of social media and smartphones. I haven't found any. If anybody knows about organizations like this, please put them in the comments. I think there should be a lot of awareness. I know Fred said some of these companies wouldn't be happy to see an ad on TV saying, stay away from your phone, go outside. I think more of those they should encourage activities at school. Make sure to tell kids that there's more than just a PS5. There's more than just an Xbox, more than just a Nintendo or smartphone or this, or there's more than just YouTube. Remember, I keep bringing this back. Do you remember I told you that they had a vote in a school and the highest vote was YouTube, which makes me laugh. So they should educate these kids that there's more than social media in this world. So it should start from schools. It should also go towards parents themselves, sitting at home, try do activities with your kids. Don't just let them stay on social media. Don't just let them stay on these video games. Don't give a child a tablet or a video game at the age of 1. Don't give them
who should do that?
I'm talking about people as people, and so we should do that. But I also want there to start organizations. Maybe I'll start one in a few years or months. Organizations which are going to help out with issues that are happening in the world right now. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
Awareness. I think awareness should be more. Awareness should be more. People should try their best to educate each other. I think parents educating and the grown-ups educating the next generation that look, there's more than just social media. You don't have to expose yourself on social media for men or women to like you. Like you can go out on dates, and actually meet somebody.
You're pretty much saying all the points now, Patrick.
Yeah, but you see, that's my point. I'm just saying that we should learn to be more dependent on ourselves and less dependent on these things by finding a balance. We have to find a balance. That's what I can say. That's all.
Meant to be nice and quick, man. Damn. All right. So who wants to go next? Fred, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. Mine is going to be short and sweet.
Yeah.
On every in order for us to if you want to reach our goal, it's best just to, like Patrick said, educate the kids, because everything starts when you're young. Addiction starts when you're young. When you teach kids to go out there to socialize with their friends. Teach them, like, interacting, even in schools and everywhere. Teach them interact. Don't give your kid phone as quick as possible. I know phones are there, when especially like kidnaps and everything. Giving a kid also would help, call the police and stuff. So when they're home, let them play. Don't let them sit in looking on internet with their friends in their room. No, tell them to go outside and chat. You know what I mean? So teach them while they're still young.
Thank you, Fred. So, Ovi, what
man.
do you think? What do you think? You've been in that pose for a while. Are you agreeing or disagreeing to these points?
No, I'm disagreeing. I'm disagreeing to this bullshit right here.
Oh my gosh.
All
right.
Guys, it's today's life. It's today's life. I know. Don't give a kid this. Don't give a kid that. Dude, when I was 4 years old, I couldn't operate a computer. A child today, 5 years of age, can go into my documents, can go onto the internet. Simple. Why? Because they've started using those gadgets while they're kids. But that's the way of life today. The way of life today is technology. Yeah, I'm not saying the child should be there 24/7. Nah, man, it's your kid. You can control your kid. That's why they've got an option of controlling them.
But nowadays they're trying to put in a law of control. Don't control your kids.
No. But the kids, but that's not control your kid. Your kid won't understand that you've gone to parental guidance and snap off some things. If the child comes to you, you can just tell them the internet.
Some of them will. I don't know if you heard about the kid in America, or the parents put a sort of a limit on the card he could use on his Xbox, and guess what he did?
Go on.
He found a way to unlock that.
And that's one in how many? One in how many? One in how many kids? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you tell
that's
me
how it starts.
If you tell me 8 in 10 can do it, but yeah, that's how it starts. He found out the guys that created that will find a way to go about it. To me personally, what I say again, sometimes it comes from, if it comes to kids, it's the parents' problem. The parents have no time to actually put input to say, okay, let me stop my kid at this time to stop using these gadgets in this kind of way. It's the same as an adult. You can't say it's a phone that is killing, it's getting you to use it 24/7. You have a choice. You're an adult. You know what I mean? It's not that, like, I'll give you an example. On my iPhone, I've got, because of work, I've got from 10 o'clock, I don't get notifications. If I have to see if somebody sends me something, it won't put on the screen or any vibration or anything. It's me going onto the phone, and if I open apps, I can see the notification. That way, my concentration of the phone goes. Because sometimes, because it vibrates, you always go like, oh, let me check what that is.
Yeah.
But that's self-control.
True. To add to what pretty much everyone has said, I think the number one thing is self-control, and, my advice to everyone who's got social media, smartphones and whatnot, give what is necessary, so use it in a necessary manner. So do the minimum, not everything, not what you desire. Do what is needed, not what you desire. You don't have to be on every social media platform.
No.
Sometimes you don't even need a phone. Do you know what I mean? In terms of parenting, we're in this time is different. We're in a time that phones are needed and all that stuff. But let's be honest, it is you, the people who go and buy these phones. These people are just giving you an option. Do you want it? You're the one going, yeah, I want the phone. Now, you can't turn around and go, yeah, but social media is this. You're the one who set up the account. Nobody forced you to do it. Do you know what I mean?
So you're the advertisements.
Who cares?
They make you feel left behind.
No. But who cares? Is it down to you or is it down to them? Do you set up the email or do they?
Can I tell you something that happens when you delete your? I don't know if you've done it. When you delete your Facebook, you can't delete it. But when you get off Facebook, do you know what it does? It sends you these notifications. Oh, Ovita has posted something.
Yeah, okay.
Your friend misses you. Blah 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 blah. That's bad.
That's self-discipline. You have you can unsubscribe to these emails.
Yes, you can.
You can put them in junk mail. You can put them in spam. These things. The options are there to do them, but you have to make that decision. Do you want to be
self-control?
Do you want to be a part of this problem that you say is a problem or not? You know what I mean? That is the one thing I think. It's a decision. Make the decision. You don't want to be a part of it? Don't be a part of it. Do what is needed and not what you desire. That's what I would say the solution would be to this. Social media is going to be around for years to come. These devices will be here for years to come. Don't buy it. That is the point. Don't buy it.
Exactly.
other than that, guys, thank you for coming on, guys, for checking out this content. I know it was a heated discussion. A lot of points were thrown in, obviously. Guys, do you have anything at all to add to this before I close this show?
Yeah, just one thing before Vida says something.
Yeah.
Social media should be taken down and phones or smartphones burnt. That's what I believe. And I'm telling you, you're gonna thank me later, people. Smartphone, I'm telling you. I know that I'm being a hypocrite by having been on a YouTube channel, but I would be willing to get off a YouTube channel just for the sake of humanity to be saved. We need to save humanity.
Do it now.
Fred, Fred, I'm going to ask you this, Fred. So people should watch to the page, sub.
Oh my gosh. That went wrong.
Fred is muted. Fred is muted.
That went wrong. That went terribly wrong.
Hey, Fred is muted.
Oh, guys,
people should
like, subscribe.
Press the right button. Press the like button and that.
Yes,
yeah.
that will actually, every subscribe that you guys do actually help us and motivate us to continue coming with more videos every week, guys. So don't hesitate. It doesn't take away money from your accounts. It's just a little, just a notification as well. You know what I mean? So it helps us see that you're actually supporting us and thank you so much, though.
All right.
Watch it with the family. Watch it with the family. Put it on TV. Watch with the whole family.
Okay, so everyone's got a lot to say, guys. To cover it off, guys. Thank you for coming on. I just wanted to remind you that every Saturday on IG, that is Instagram, we go live at about 8 p.m. We have a special guest on IG Live this Saturday. It's Chris Bass. He's a Malawian fashion designer. He's sort of an out-of-the-box abstract fashion designer. He's worked with some big artists. His kit is quite, the stuff he's designed is quite good. We're going to talk to him about his work and obviously, what's around. Yes, sir.
Don't cook your Auntie the tree this weekend, please, because we want you tomorrow. Yeah, please.
Right. So I'm going to... Hold on a second. Oh, Jesus, calm down. So yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button, as everyone's been saying. 8 p.m. tomorrow on IG Live. Next week, Wednesday, we've got Vinny Visuals at 7 p.m. on YouTube. All right, telling us about what he does with his videos. So, guys, a lot of content coming. What's the name of the show, guys?
5 rounds.
All right, guys, we'll see you later. Take it easy.
Good night.
Peace.